Hey, welcome back to another video. Just hanging outside a holiday here still. My first video started out the video before this started out slow because I'm feeling kind of blasé lately. Now we got warm, sticky, icky weather. You know, my situation hasn't really changed. I ain't getting any younger. And as Elvis Presley might have said, my scarf's too short, my belt's falling off, I'm losing my mind. I just keep looking forward to when the good stuff all happens. I can't wait. I'm almost like a kid before Christmas. You know, I'm just like anxious for it to happen. You know, I can't get here fast enough. So the good Lord had just kind of put an express on that there situation. That'd be wonderful. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, as much as it sucks, I'm still thankful because it could be a lot worse. And I know there's people out there that got it way worse than me. I'm very blessed, even in my crappy situation. I'm very blessed because I've met so many people. I think that's a big part of why God's guided me through this is to, you know, open my eyes to some things that I already knew about. I just didn't feel them. He wanted me to live them, you know. And it's been an experience, you know. So I really, really hope that's about to change. Because I keep saying I don't know how much longer I can take it. I keep telling God that, but I don't know. Any day now. Oh, Tony's leaving. $4.17 is gas right now. $4.18, might as well say, because it's $4.17.9. $4.18. I still think it's going to go down quite a bit, though, once this other stuff gets settled down. And I don't think it's going to last long overseas. And besides, it's only been, you know, a month and a half or something. I mean, it'd be nice if it never happened, you know, but I think it's all for good reasons. That's what I feel about it anyway, my feeling on it. Doesn't mean I'm right, but just time to tell. Yeah. I don't know. I keep telling myself, I said it in the last video too, I probably shouldn't even be making a video because I'm just so dreamy right now and my brain's just racing on so many different things. Sometimes I feel like if I don't turn on the camera, you know, I don't want. Sometimes doing it just like this, just turning on the camera and letting it rip, and sometimes I come up with some really, really good subjects and stuff we talk about. So if I don't have the camera going, I wouldn't catch it. And because I want this channel to be real, I put up the boring stuff too. That way, you know, I'm not like pulling your leg or just editing and trying to have it scripted or something, you know. Tell you some phony baloney story or something. I'm just sharing my life and all my experiences and my faith. That's the best way I know how to talk about God more, right at the moment anyway. You know, I mean, of course, I guess it's kind of natural to be impatient and want everything to grow fast and income to come in and all that kind of stuff, you know. But when I look at the reality of it, you know, I've had this channel going like 7 months now or something like that. I don't know, 8 months now. I think we're heading towards 8 months now. You know, and at the moment we're at 87 subscribers, I think, and it's weird how things spike, you know, and stuff. Some of my videos only get 2 or 3 or 4 views, and other ones get more. And I'm looking the other day at the past 28 days of that, and then back on like April 28th or something like that, I had like 359 views in one day. That was weird. That's a pretty big spike. I mean, that ain't nothing compared to most YouTubers out there that have been doing it a while. 359 views in a day is small potatoes. But for being a newer channel, it's doing all right. And from my other channel that I've got, I've seen how it goes. But it doesn't matter anyway, because this channel, what I'm doing, and the stuff I'm talking about, sharing my life and tough experiences I've been through, or drugs I've done, and how I straightened myself out with, just because I just wanted a better life. Did that all without treatment, even though I got into a lot of crazy drugs when I was younger. And, I don't regret none of it, because it's all made me who I am today. But I'm glad that I was able to straighten myself out, because I've always been close to God, even before I got into drugs. I think my main reason I got into drugs, which is still kind of a BS excuse, but I understand it, It's my grandpa, when he passed, I was really close to my grandpa. He was a lot of different things to me. And it was the first close person that I had die to me. I'd had other, uncles or grandma or something like that, die that when I was younger that I wasn't super close to. But I loved him and cared about him, and I knew him all enough. But my grandpa was really, really close to him. I'd go over to his place at least every weekend, every other weekend or something. Then we'd go on trips down to Winona, Minnesota for our family reunions, and not just family reunion, which was once a year, but then we'd go down there to stay with Ma and Eva, Ma and Opal, Ma and Grace, her husband Bill, on their farm. So I got to hang out on different farms and learn about different animals. My grandpa would take me, he'd go take me hiking or walking and stuff, and teach me about nature and animals and stuff, and especially birds, a lot, different birds. And then they'd teach me about different plants and berries, and what berries you could eat and what ones not to eat, and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until after he was passed on and gone that I found out that his mom, my great grandma, was pure blood Indian, American Indian. And when my mom told me that, I was shocked, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, it was such a shocker for me, because then I knew what my Indian name was. And you're like, what? I said, well, because my grandpa never ever called me Darren, very rarely. Maybe 5 times in my life he called me Darren, that I can remember. Otherwise, my grandpa always called me Eagle Eye. So as I was a kid growing up, I just could spot little tiny itsy bitsy things from far away. I had really good eyesight always. And thank goodness it's still pretty dang good. Matter of fact, about a block and a half away over where we got a lot of traffic going on right now, I can see 2 ants arguing. I'm just kidding. Did that to my mom once. We were going through the drive-thru, and my mom was getting older, so her hearing was starting to go bad. And she couldn't hear low tones as good anymore. Higher pitched stuff she could hear better. And when we go through the drive-thrus are tough enough. With the not to take your order today, and you make out some stuff, but some stuff you can't, even if you got good hearing, So my mom's hearing being even worse, she could never understand. So I'd always translate between her and Dad, because both their hearing was getting bad. But even on drive-thrus, I'd translate everything. She could order stuff, then when I'd read it back, I'd translate back what they said back to her, And my mom says one time, she says, "Man, you've got really good hearing too." I said, "Dang right." And I pointed over by this curb that was quite a ways from us. And if that ant over by that curb doesn't quit stomping his foot, I'm going to get really upset. And she was like, "Oh, shut up." I like joking around. Did that in a video earlier today. When I was looping around, when I got to the gas station, I was turning around because the recycling truck was here to pick up the big recycling dumpsters and stuff. And so I went to turn around and wait for him to get out of the way. And there was a Red Bull delivery truck at the pumps, and he was just getting back into his truck and getting buckled in while I was doing the U-turn to turn around. So instead of turning around, I could have kept doing my U-turn and went. I had enough room to clear him, and get by him. But instead, I purposely kind of let it go a little more straight, so I was coming right at him because I knew his peripheral vision would probably catch it as I got closer. And then he looked up at me, and right when he looked up at me, I was like, ah, like we were gonna hit each other. And then, of course, I started laughing, and then I could see just teeth, he was smiling and laughing himself. So he got my humor, and liked that I was being silly, it made him laugh. And I'm glad, because who knows how his day was going. At least I made him laugh, so put some positivity in him. I've never seen him before, and I forgot I was filming when I was doing that. So from the camera angle, you guys are just seeing me driving, and then all of a sudden you see me go, ah! So, and it's on the camera right now. I haven't taken it off to it, I don't think, yet. Or maybe I did. Yeah, I did. So it should be on the computer right now. Because when I was in the holiday, I took everything off there. So yeah, it should be on the computer right now to be edited. But so when if I see that while I'm editing it, it'll probably make me laugh. Oh. I envy that guy. I miss my motorcycle. I miss a lot of stuff. I can't think about it. I get bummed out more. I lost 2 storage units. Got my motorcycle, Jeep, all kinds of stuff. Tech stuff, digital, electronic stuff. Oh gosh. And my brother took everything too that I had of all my DJ equipment, my whole DJ business. It's just been an ugly few years. But there's a reason for it. And I told God, if that's what He wants me to lighten my load because He's got a different mission for me or something, told Him I'll accept it. It ain't gonna be easy, but I'll take whatever's thrown at me, I guess, and do my best with it. That's all you can do. Feeling down or crying about it don't make it any better, and you can't change the past. Most people, anyway, you can't change the past, but I can't let anybody know about my time machine. I mean, I gotta keep that secret, Can't tell anybody about that stuff. If people knew I could travel through time, they'd all be lining up to ask questions or go for a little time jaunt. I like joking around, as you can tell, I'm sure. But that's a part of getting to know me on this channel. That's why I just turn on the camera and let it rip. Where are we at here? I can talk a couple more minutes anyway. I should draw it to an end because it's at like 13 something minutes now, so it'll be 14 minutes. Yeah, I probably should have let it end and go into another one or something. I think clouds going around. I wish it would kind of rain because it's kind of hot and muggy. Well, hey. Thumb figured in my head. Thumbs up, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. God bless you. Talk to God about anything. Happy, sad. Just talk to Him. Tell Him Darren says hi if you'd like. And we'll see you on the next one.